Hi everyone, Zach Pakoff here, and welcome back to another lesson video. Today, I will be going over the 5-1 text. So let's jump right into the video. Alright, so as I had stated before, I'm going to be going over the 5-1 text. So we're starting our new chapter today, and in this chapter, we'll be learning about cash control systems. In addition to that, we will also be learning about how to define accounting terms related to using a checking account and a petty cash fund, identify accounting concepts and practices related to using a checking account, prepare business papers related to using a checking account, reconcile a bank statement, journalize dishonored checks and electronic banking transactions, and finally, establish and replenish a petty cash fund. Okay, so now that I've read over the objectives, let's jump right into the 5-1 text. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to the 5-1 text, which is the first lesson of Chapter 5. And in this lesson, we will be learning about checking accounts. So these are the key terms that are going to be used throughout Chapter 5. So a bank statement is a report of deposits, withdrawals, and bank balances sent to a depositor by a bank. A blank endorsement is an endorsement consisting only of the endorser's signature. A checking account is a bank account from which payments can be ordered by a depositor. A code of conduct is a statement that guides the ethical behavior of a company and its employees. A debit card is a bank card that automatically deducts the amount of a purchase from the checking account of the card holder. A dishonored check is a check that a bank refuses to pay. An electronic funds transfer, or EFT, is a computerized cash payment system that transfers funds without the use of checks, currency, or other paper documents. An endorsement is a signature or stamp on the back of a check transferring ownership. Petty cash is an amount of cash kept on hand and used for making small payments. A petty cash slip is a form showing proof of a petty cash payment. A post-dated check is a check with a future date on it. A restrictive endorsement is an endorsement restricting further transfer of a check's ownership. And finally, a special endorsement is an endorsement indicating a new owner of a check. All right, next we're going to be talking about depositing cash. So when we deposit cash, this means that cash is being added into our account. So we put in the date, and the date here is August 1st. Then we put in the amount, which is $5,000. And since there was no previous account balance that was before this, we can just bring that amount down to the total. Okay, next we're going to be talking about a deposit recorded on a check stub. So what we're looking at here is where it says balance brought forward, amount deposited, and subtotal. So the balance brought forward started off as $0. Well, someone decided on August 1st that they were going to deposit $5,000. So since there was no previous account balance before this, we can just bring that number down, and that becomes the subtotal. Okay, next we're going to be talking about endorsements. So for a blank endorsement, we would just sign our name. For a special endorsement, we would write pay to the order of, and then the name of the person, company, or business, and then we would sign our name. And then for a restrictive endorsement, we would write for deposit only to the account of, and then the name of the account that we are transferring this to, and then we would sign our name. All right, next we're going to be talking about a completed check stub. So when we complete a check stub, there are some steps that we follow when doing this. First, we write the amount of the check. Then we write the date of the check. Next, we write to whom the check is to be paid. Then we record the purpose of the check. Next, we write the amount of the check. And then we calculate the new checking account balance. Now, the subtotal was $5,000. Well, we wrote a check that was $275. So if we take the subtotal, which was $5,000, and subtract it from the amount of the check, which was $275, That will give us our new checking account balance, also known as the balance carried forward, of $4,725. Okay, next we're going to be talking about a completed check. So when we complete a check, there are, again, some steps that we follow when doing this. So first, we put in the date. Then, we write to whom the check is to be paid. Next, we write the amount in figures or numbers. Then, we write the amount in words. Then, we write the purpose of the check. And finally, we sign the check. And finally, we'll be talking about recording a voided check. So when we record a voided check, there are a few steps that we follow when doing this process. So first, we record the date. Next, we write the word void in the account title column. Then, we write the check number. Next, we place a check mark in the post reference column. And finally, we place a dash in the cash credit column. All right, so that was the 5-1 text. So in the next video, I will be going over the 5-1 work together. Okay, thank you.